integrity is huge. So integrity, to be honest, moral uprightness, being whole and undivided. Be honest, have good morals, be whole and undivided. I really like the being whole and undivided. So being honest, we know what being honest is. Let's be truthful. Even when no one is looking, let's just say you work in a field where you handle money. Let's make sure we're counting that money and putting it all back. Moral uprightness. Some people have morals. We all know everyone's morals are not the same. Although a general consensus would say everyone was raised and taught right from wrong. But someone's right from wrong and accepting responsibility and accountability could be totally different from how you were raised and what you believe and what was your belief system. So being honest, having moral rightness, being whole and undivided. And the reason I really like the being whole and undivided, even in the Bible, it talks about being unequally yoked, as well as God would rather us be hot or cold and not lukewarm. So being whole, what I say, that's what it is. When no one is watching, when someone is watching, I am whole in my decision. I'm not divided. I'm not thinking one way and acting one way when I'm around a certain group of people, or if I'm in a different type of environment. I am this way. I am just solely whole and undivided because I am a person that walks in integrity. I don't have to be babysat. I don't have to have someone coach me through this. But again, everyone's moral compass was not the same coming up. And I had to switch it up over here in my on my business page. I was having some technical difficulties, but that was not the same for everyone. So just knowing that you can walk in integrity, and sometimes even piggybacking on the 7 key points to healing. Sometimes we would shame ourselves into believing that 5 years ago, I haven't did it in 5 years, but 5 years ago, I told a lie that was so bad, and you hold that. So you feel like everything you're doing is not integrity, but integrity speaks for itself. When someone asks someone else about you, they're able to vouch for you. Integrity means you're just not working when someone is watching you. You're working when you are not being watched. Integrity means that it doesn't matter what the circumstance is. It doesn't matter who the people are around me. This is just what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be right and fair about it. So the next one is truth. A fact or belief that's accepted as truth. Body of real things and events. Facts. Actuality. That's big. And declaring I'm going to walk in integrity and in truth. Being truthful a lot of times can hurt relationships, end relationships. It can put you in a place of being alone. It can... I'm looking at a message. Approve so I can comment. I'm sorry, I'm reading let me add someone to the group. So, a fact of beliefs that's accepted as truth. That can be a good and a bad thing, because someone could strongly believe what they believe. It's factual and true, but it is not. So in that case, living in your truth. I'm trying to figure out. Jasmine, are you in the group or are you on my business page? so I'll know where I'm approving from. Um, Let me see. I just sent you an invite, so it should let you in. So, going back to truth. I stress that this is very important, although it may put you in a place where you may rattle some relationships and some bonds that you have. It's because everyone on this earth, we all have our truth. Our truth and our experiences are not the same as the next person. So, example, I have two people that know me, but their experience with me can be totally different. It does not mean that one person is lying. That's their truth. So if they had this experience with me, how can you tell them they did not? That's their truth. So we're going to be bold enough and declare that we're no longer going to walk around and feel the in shame and feel like we don't deserve. We're going to walk in our truth, which is going to lead us to the next key point. It's freedom. It's freedom. The power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. So first, I'm going to walk in integrity. I know who I am. I know what it is I stand for. When someone is looking, when someone is not looking. Truth, I am going to stand in the truth of what is. I'm going to stick to what is factual in belief to me. That's what I'm going to stick to, regardless, again, of who's around me, who's looking, who's not looking, which is going to take you to your freedom. Because a lot of times we continue to walk around and hold these things inside, because instead of making us the priority, saying that I really need to speak this truth, I really need to get help with this so I can heal and move forward. But we're thinking about the person that it's going to affect more than how it's going to free, help, and heal us so we can move forward. So that is very important for us to do. Have the integrity. Live in truth. So we can get to the freedom part. So we can tell our story. So we can help the next person. So I declare I will walk in integrity. I'm just gonna do what is right. I declare I'm going to walk in truth. I'm not going to walk around and act like what happened did not happen. I'm not going to walk around and act if though everything is okay and it's not okay. I have to walk in my truth. If I'm sad, if I'm mad, if I'm uncomfortable, if I need to speak to someone to get an apology, if I need to ask for forgiveness or get forgiveness from somebody, I have to walk in what that truth is for me. And then that's going to free you and to be able to walk into freedom. So United States, so yeah, we live in a free country. But think about it. How free are you really walking around? Are you more concerned with how your truth is going to affect the people that are involved, or how your truth is going to help heal and free you so you can rise above that and move forward in the things that you're supposed to move in? So, most people know this scripture, John 8:32, and you would know the truth, and it would what? Set you free. You would know the truth. You got to get true about it. Get some truth about it. And it's going to set you free. It's going to walk you into your freedom. Are y'all able to hear me? Hey, Pebbles. And also, if y'all can comment, if y'all have any questions or what have you, put those in there. If y'all want to piggyback, if what I'm saying is making sense, please do that. Please do that. I need the interaction. But again, I declare I will walk in integrity. I will walk in truth. I will walk in freedom. in spite of opinions, in spite of, well, it may not be the best idea, or, maybe you should talk to them first. A lot of us remember the young lady. She was at a family repast. And at that repast, she went up to the uncle and let the uncle, nowadays you can just go right to your phone. And she was live and called the uncle out, and said, like, okay, do you remember when I was a kid, you molested me and all of that? And the video went viral, and I was following her for a little bit. She was being invited to different places to speak about that. And just in that moment, I have to be honest about where I am in my healing process. Yes. And in reference to that, don't measure it to the next person. Because even if it's like, I can share a story with you and I could relate to you. So, one, you're not the only one. If I made it through, you can make it through. So for encouragement, for some advice. But if you're not being honest and open about what is a fact, you can't change the fact that it happened. You can't undo it. If you're not honest about that, everything that you try to do on top of that, it will crumble. That goes back to the previous 3 weeks when I was talking about your healing. So I could go forward in life and act like it just did not happen. Something's going to happen to make me realize, no, that happened. Meaning, something is going to trigger it. Because of me holding it in, I now have built that in my character. I remember I was, early 20s, maybe about 21, 22. And at 18, I went through this adult relationship like crisis. And talking to this guy at church, he trying to holler at me. And I'm like, oh no, I have a boyfriend. Lo and behold, the dude I say is my boyfriend is his sister's about to be baby daddy. Right? So I'm 18 years old. I'm not clueless to the world. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth and all that, but this was totally new. So, and this man was like 26 at the time. And so for me, thinking that I resolved that at that age, I was cool. I escaped that situation. It did take me from just seeing eyes from an 18-year-old to kind of pushing me into adulthood. Just a lot of things became clear. That was an experience. And about 21, 22, one of my friends, we ended up working at the same place, but he used to go to the same church back in the day. And we was joking around, and he went to like just tap me. You know how you may be joking around with people and you touch them or tap them. And when he did that, I jumped like, ooh. And he just joking again. He was like, oh my gosh, like, who burnt you? Like, why you jumping? Why you acting like? And in that moment at 21, I had an aha moment. Like, this happened at 18. But at 21, it still has, it's affected me. Because although I thought I resolved it, but for you to kind of be a kid, because to me, 18, like, you're legal, but you're still a kid, to go through all this adult stuff, like, they were adults. They're in their mid to late 20s. And for someone to say something in the moment, and that made me mad, meaning that I was still allowing an experience that I had to affect me years later. So I had to deal with that. So depending on your makeup and how you are as a person, like, it made me mad. Mad to the point where I had to fix it. I had to resolve it. It couldn't be no more stigma about it. And so I had to resolve it so that I really was um, healed from it. So if I did jump from somebody, it's like, nah, bruh, I just don't want you touching me. It ain't because it's going all the way back to uh, trust issues, thinking, it was all roses when it wasn't. And so I'm trying to resolve issues from 20 years ago. A lot of us are. Healing for her. Healing for her, for grown women, meaning like you're grown, I want to say like 30 plus, there's issues that we have not dealt with that happened when we were young girls. So although we're functioning, we have been able to get jobs, careers, raise kids and all this, there's still a brokenness inside of us because we have not been able to get that release, get that freedom. We haven't been able to live our truth, to get to the freedom. You know what I mean? So we got to go back to when we were 10, when we were 15, when we were 20, and resolve that issue, because there is some residue even at 40, 45, 50. I don't know if y'all caught that Iyanla show, but that right there that's real life. That shows, and they're not the only family that's dealing with that. But we have to be in a place to be able to go back and resolve. Because again, you can run from it. You can feel like it's not affecting you, and it's going to come up. It's going to come up. That it's life. It's going to come up. So we have to be willing and bold enough to be able to go back and resolve these issues. I want to live in freedom. I want to have a real peace. I don't just want to sing about it in church. I don't just want to read the scriptures about it. I want to have that peace. I want to be able to be free. Me being free does not take away from the next person. Me being free does not hurt or hinder the next person. But what happens is you have a lot of people walking around here talking about, I'm 100, they fake because X, Y, and Z. And you have people that even say that, they the realest person and all that. But when you hit somebody with their truth, that's when a real person show up. Because truth is not always pretty. Truth will sometimes put you on blast, not on purpose, but if that's what you did, that's just what you did. Truth will make you examine yourself. Truth will make you make some things about you that you've been trying to keep in the closet. The skeletons come out. Truth will expose you in a way to help you heal, to move forward. So I've always said, yes, you have to stay open to the process. Yes. You have to stay open to the process. And I always say that. We can get stuck in the process, but you have to keep with it. So I remember when I began to hear about Juanita Bynum. And it probably was a couple years later after she, became big from the No More Sheets. And I sat there and I watched all her videos. And then for the place that I'm in now, God was preparing me. Because I'm like, basically, this lady just put all her business out there. All her business out there. And when you do that, even when God is covering, you have people that want to say this and want to say that. It is just funny to me because we all human. So we all have experience, good, bad, and indifference. We all have something, it's still in our skeletons in the closet that we're either not ready to resolve at the time. We're trying to process it through. But I was like, man, that's brave. Like, she just put all her business out. Like, but not just the message, it was what she did that helped me. Because when you understand um the what it is that you have been predestined to do, predestined for, called to do, it's so many people that I come in contact with, and I'm like, you are filled with gifts and talents. You can do this with your eyes closed. It's you have an audience. You're not even trying to get an audience. But again, until we're able to feel that within ourselves, until we're able to resolve these things, we're not going to be able to accept what has been predestined. So me seeing the No More Sheets, and I'm like, oh, this lady, it was the realness. If you know me, I'm just down to earth girl. It was the realness about it. It was like just being that bold to say, this is who I am, this is who I was, and this is how I made it through. This is the very thing that was designed to keep me stagnant. The very thing that was designed to keep me in shame. The very thing that was designed to make me feel like I had it all when I didn't. That, like, back what she was talking about, that's like what we would call a go girl. You know what I'm saying? Laid back, a gold digger. Like you talking to married men, you getting money, you doing this, you're doing that. But the very thing that was designed to take you out is the very thing that you flip and make you. It gives you your voice, it gives you your power. And I really feel like that's where we miss it. So we have to declare. Like, once we're healed and we're healing, we're always going to be healing from something. The acronym for her, if you see any of my t-shirts and it says, I am her. Depending on the place that you're in, her means I am healed, evolved, and restored. And if you're going through a process, it means I am being healed, I am evolving, and I am being restored. So it could be a past tense used in the right now or past tense. But I always say everything negative that you have experienced, you have went through, every embarrassing moment, every shameful moment, when people counted you out, when people said you wasn't going to be, whether it was your mama, daddy, a teacher, a cousin, an uncle, when you felt like because you were violated and you couldn't tell nobody, or you told somebody and they didn't believe you. So at a young age, that taught you that you wasn't valuable, you wasn't important, you were invisible, you did not matter. That same stuff that we went through, that same stuff that we experienced, is going to be the same stuff that gets you to the place that you're praying about, the place that you're saying that you want to be, the place of freedom, the place of peace, the place of wholeness, the place of healing. It's that same stuff that is going to take you there. It's that same stuff that's going to open up doors for you to be able to share your story with other women and young ladies. It's that same story that's going to be able to have your books in the store. It's that same story that's going to have 30,000 people following you on social media and wondering, what is she doing today? What is she eating today? What is she talking about today? It's that same story that was designed to take you out, that's going to fuel you and push you to your purpose. It's going to push you to the destiny that's already been waiting for it. It's already set up. I've said this before. Everything that's supposed to be, it is already in place. It's waiting for us to show up. Healing for her already existed. I had to believe that I was able to do this. So when I started examining and looking it over, let me look at what I've been going through the last few years. And everything that I went through, like I said before, I would have either been behind doors, or what you see right now today would not be. So I had to start examining, what is this? What's going on? What am I getting set up for? So that's just the natural part of it. But we got to remember, we're not just natural beings. We're spiritual beings. So you can't think about and feed into one and not the other. So on the spiritual side, what does this look like? What does this mean? What do I feel God beckoning me to do? What do I feel that he's calling me to do? What am I supposed to be doing? So that same stuff that I went through, where I felt like I was drowning, I couldn't breathe, where I felt like, man, 2 to the chest, a couple to the throat, when I felt like had a bail money ready. That's the same stuff that I'm using to fuel me, to keep pushing me into my purpose, keep pushing me to the place that God has already prepared for me. And that's the same thing that He's doing for all of us. But we get stuck. We get lost in the process. We drop out of the process. We let what's going on in the world and our lives and all of that. Sometimes we don't understand that we have to examine. If I keep ending up in the same place every 6 months, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Who am I hanging around with? What should I be doing? What should I stop doing? What should I start doing? So I understand that a lot of times when someone is close to us and they may be able to help us with certain things, like, oh yeah, but that's so and so. But if they're able to help you, if they have something that you need, that's like a no-brainer. Let me inquire about it. Let me ask about it. Let me look into it. If I want to do it, but I don't have the funds to do it, or if I don't have a way to do it, inquire. Open up your mouth and say something. Now when someone asks me, what do you need help with? It's like, oh, I'm cool. I'll be like, oh, I need help with X, Y, and Z. Or I'll reach out to somebody and say, hey, I need your services for this, that, and the other. So don't get stuck in the process. Don't quit in the process. And when you feel like you're going to tap out, then that's when you reach out to somebody and say, you know what? I'm hanging in there. Like the analogy, first you started off running. Then you went into, you're sprinting. Then you go into a jog. And then you go into a fast walk. Then it's just a regular walk. Then you just walking. And then it's just too much. So now you down on on one knee. You still trying to move. And then you're crawling. The point is to keep moving. Keep moving. And in those moments where you feel like you can't move, then you should have someone that's able to pray for you, talk something positive into you, refuel you. We're on social media. We follow all this stuff. We reshare. We like. We comment. Are you following an inspirational page? So when you wake up in the morning, you have something to say, hey, today's your day. You can do it. Get up and run. We have the power to set up things in our lives. So that's why I'm saying we have the power to declare what it is that we want. But in addition to declaring it, you have to be willing to do the work. Go through the process. And like I said, integrity, that's when ain't nobody looking. That says a lot about who you are, your integrity. And truth, we got to be able to live in our truth. That itself, carrying around truths and facts, and you just supposed to hold this. You're not supposed to be able to release it. Do you know how depressing that can be? You know how oppressing that can be? Do you know how much anxiety that can cause? Etc., etc. So we live in a society that say be 100, be truthful, say this, except for if it's gonna make me look a certain way, if it's gonna make me have to, accept responsibility for something, unless it's going to make it seem like, I'm a bad person. Ain't nobody's talking about all that unless. Live in your truth. Speak it. Be free. We have one life. And as we see, you can be here today and gone today. Live in your truth. Live in your truth. To get to your what? Your freedom. Your freedom. I'm not on this earth to be depressed, to live in fear, to live in shame, to keep myself in the box. I want to be as free as the people that I see on TV. And half of them not even free, truth be told, because we're all human. It don't matter how much money you have, how much um, uh, accessibility you have. At the beginning of the day, even if you have a maid, your baby sleep with you at the beginning of the day, you wake up and see yourself. At the end of the night, you are going to sleep with yourself. Throughout the day, you are making choices and decisions for yourself, meaning in some type of way, it's going to be beneficial. So, if that's the case, why not seek out the real truth of why you're here, what you're supposed to be doing, how you're supposed to be doing it, when you're supposed to be doing it with, who you're supposed to be doing it with, who you're supposed to be sharing your experiences with. Some of us are surrounded around people that you're more benefit to the people than the people are beneficial for you. I think it was yesterday I posted a video, or was that today? Either way, one of these days. And it was like, choose. You're not obligated to have certain people in your life. You're not obligated to repeat same cycles. You're not obligated to raise your kids like your mom raised her kids or your grandmother. You're not obligated to think the same way 3 generations thought before. You're not obligated to keep up traditions that don't work. You're not obligated. You're not. What you're obligated to is what you say that you are okay with. Some people get offended with boundaries and expectations and all of that. Well, guess what, boo-boo? I'ma do me. You can do you. If we can't meet in the middle, then guess what? I guess you wasn't one of those people I was supposed to, mesh with, connect with, whatever you want to call it. So when you know better, you do better. And again, sometimes that's not accepted, especially depending on the culture. Sometimes that's frowned upon. Sometimes you'll be outcasted. But I'd rather be outcast and be happy, peaceful, free, know who I am, live in integrity, live in truth. I'm just saying. Because, again, we wear many hats. But I'm a priority. I matter. What I desire. So I declare I will walk in integrity, truth, and freedom at all costs. If I have to go back to a place that's hurtful and raw because I haven't dealt with it, but I need to face my fears, I need to face my hurts so that what I'm experiencing right now at 25, I'm not going through the same thing at 30. What I'm now experiencing at 30, I'm not experiencing at 35. If I gotta look my reality in the face to deal with it, that's what I'm willing to do. Because I want to be free. I want to be able to live in truth. I don't want to, oh my gosh, like I did this. If somebody find out, what are they going to think? Address it. You done already told on yourself. So now what they going to do? You done took the power from them. Some people hold stuff over your head. Some people blackmail you. Some people, once you take the power, then what? Then what? And that's what I mean. Take this very stuff. And I'm just sorry, like, And when I say I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm just saying, with everything that we go through and we experience in life, if I believe what I believe, if I believe I am who I am, if I believe that I am gifted and called and purpose to this thing, I'm gonna do it all the way. And especially because I'm gonna have to fight even when I'm doing right. You know what I mean? It's a struggle. It seems like, you you got everything together. All your ducks are in a row, and then it seemed like stuff happened. So I might as well live in integrity. I might as well live in truth. I might as well live in freedom, because on both sides, you still gonna have to do something in life. I just talked to someone about not wanting to admit the truth about embarrassing stuff that happened to me as a kid, but because I hadn't dealt with it, I'm a mess. We have to be able to acknowledge and go back there. That's just something we have. If when I say we have to, that's if you want more and better and freedom and peace and liberty and just to be able to live. Just to be able to live. You know? And some of the stuff we go through in life is because we made poor decisions. Some of the stuff we go through in life is just life. It rains on the just as well as the unjust. It's just life happening. Some of the stuff we're going through, it is not even for us. It's for the people that we are going to come in contact with. You know what I mean? So and then it also, if y'all didn't catch my end of the year video for 2018 going to 2019, I am so on this thing about believe, grow, and go. Believe, grow, and go. Believe you are who you are. You believe you can have what you desire. Believe that what's a fact is a fact. Believe that you have your healing. Believe it. Because once you believe it, you're going to do the work, which is going to cause you to grow. Once you have grown, you are going to go. You're going to go out into this world and do what it is that you're supposed to do. You're going to go out into this world and share with other women. You're going to go out into this world and share with young ladies. You're going to go out into this world and get that business. You're going to go out into this world and just get the desires that you have in your heart. Believe, grow, and go. It's like a year. And when I say to fight, it's not a physical fight. Like a lot of people said 2018 and, maybe even previous years was a hard year, but what was hard about the year? What were the things that you discovered that you needed to improve on? You needed to stop doing, you needed to change, you needed to tweak a little bit. Did we examine it in that light? So in 2019, we don't just say new year, new me, but we're doing the same things. I can declare, I declare I'm gonna walk in integrity, truth, and freedom. But if I ain't doing the work to do it, if I don't believe that, then it's not gonna happen. Yes, a mental fight, a spiritual fight. And I think sometimes we forget that. And then here's the thing, when you're in a fight, you have to know what it is that you're fighting, so you have the right tools to fight. If you have to acknowledge, just to give an example, if you are in a verbal fight with somebody and you know this person ain't about to hit nobody, but you ready to swing, that's the wrong tool. So you have to be able to use your words or not use your word to defeat that person, because what they like to do is talk. But if you don't give them nothing to talk back with, I guess the fight is over. So we have to equip ourselves to have the right tools to fight. So I'm telling y'all, if y'all didn't catch them last 3 videos, the 7 key points to starting your healing journey, and connect that to today and the next 2 weeks about declaring what it is that we're declaring and how it is that we're going to move forward. I'm just saying, you may want to do that. Also in my group, Her Purpose. And I keep telling people to join my group because Right now, there's a free document, is an attachment that I put in the group of affirmations and just things that you can go back to. A lot of times, at times I chuckle when some older women say or voice that younger girls, oh yeah, they need that, they need to be doing this. But I'm like, you need that same thing. I was doing a workshop for some fifth graders. The Not the director of the program, but she's the one that basically schedule and kind of put the events together. I was talking to her after. She said, although you was talking to them, you was talking to me, because I don't tell myself I'm beautiful. I don't think that I'm beautiful. So I've said before, I didn't grow up in a household where I got praised. Like, man, you did a great job and all that. Anybody that know me, I've been in ministry for a long time, since a teenager. I never got praised for stuff like that. And it never dawned on me that you should. Honestly, it never did. So I can't even say I don't recall it bothering me. That was just my norm, you know? But dang, you think about it. What if somebody was telling you, you know what? That's good artwork. What do you want to do you like art? Do you want to do art? Just think of how different the conversation, having those conversations would have took me even further from what I was saying in front of me to, you know what I mean? So it ain't just the young girls. They need affirmations to know that they're beautiful, to know that anything is possible, to know that this too shall pass, to know that, I'm beautiful and wonderfully made, to know that I have purpose. It ain't just for these young girls. It's women older than me that don't know that don't believe that. So you would take yourself to the next level with that type of talk. Yes. So, 'cause I'm getting excited. I'm passionate about this stuff. But I'm declaring, you should be declaring, that I will walk in integrity, truth, and freedom. At minimum, you owe yourself truth and freedom. At minimum. I love this. So important to address the past, to fully embrace your present. Self-reflection, self-care, and acceptance is the key in healing. You better say that again. And y'all know that's one of my key points. You got to accept that this stuff happened. And for us parents, stop telling the kids what goes on in this house stays in this house. Especially if it's bad stuff. You are now teaching them that when something bad happens, I have to hold it in. I got to keep it to myself. I can't go get help. So then when this young person goes from being in elementary and then they are now in junior high and they walk around with attitudes, you want them to open up to you. They won't open up to you. Then when they become a teenager, they looking at you like you the enemy. You asking, aunts and friends, they just don't listen. They hard-headed. But no, what you planted in that child was, you don't have a voice. What goes on in here, negative or good, you keep it here. So a lot of times for young people, the voice get taken at an early age, a young age. And then hopefully one day as an adult, you have a light bulb moment that say, hold up. I can speak up for myself. I ain't cool with that. And that's just showing how this stuff that we experience, in majority, a lot of it is from early on in life, how it shows up later on in life. Like, you don't have to be a scientist. You just have to be in a place to be able to acknowledge what happened, accept what happened, and change the outcome. Change the outcome of it all. So the next 3 weeks, well, today is 1 week, next 2. Again, I'm going to be talking about declaring. And today's one is I declare I will walk in integrity, truth, and in freedom. So, I'm adding in on my business page after the video, but on March 2nd, I have a ladies let's talk. I extended the early bird until the end of this month. So if you want to come, right now it's $15. You can register and pay on Eventbrite. After that, it's going to be $20. But it's going to be an open forum session to have dialogue, to talk, to get tools, to get tips. It's going to be some story telling. And because it can be kind of like a heavy thing, I'm going to have some giveaways and things like that. But it's just a place and a time to come together and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So continue to like, share this video, tag your friends in it. And like I said, the next 2 weeks, you can also invite young ladies because we want this to trickle down to them. We want to already have done the work in them so they don't have to work so hard when they get our age, right? Some of us need to stop getting acknowledgement of things that happen from those that did us wrong to move. That's what I'm talking about. And I talked about that. Stop waiting for someone to give you the okay to move forward. Stop waiting for someone to give you the okay, like it's time for me to heal. You may never get that I'm sorry. You may never get that person even accepting the fact that they did something wrong to you. So some of us, no, they owe me an apology. I'm going to wait. Why would you give somebody that much power to tell you when you going to be able to move forward? When you going to be able to heal? When you going to be able to prosper? Why would you give someone that much power? I just talked about that. So, and I remember seeing that a lady, she was so mad. She was molested and she was so mad and angry. And I'm as a full woman, a full grown woman, she was so mad and she was so angry. And she said, I need them to acknowledge what they did. And she said, but you're not going to get that. Because if that person is not living in truth, if that person don't want to acknowledge that, if everybody around you already did not believe you, if everyone around you already said that the adult was right and you was wrong, you don't then give that person further power over you to say, when I'm going to be able to release and heal this. That's when you speak your truth. That's when you get bold enough to say, yeah, at this age, so-and-so did this, and I need to release myself from it. And even if they don't want to acknowledge it, I'm going to forgive you because I need to move forward. I need to release this. I talked about that too. Forgiveness is just not for the other person. The forgiveness is for yourself. And a lot of times, because of these bad experiences that we have gone through and we have been through and we have felt alone going through them and all that, we forget that we have to forgive ourselves because we get down on ourselves. We say that we ain't no good. We ain't worthy. We feel shame about ourselves. We feel as though because we started off in a broken system, that's all we know how to do. No, that is not so. Again, when you take the power back from someone, what do they have? What do they have? But what you get from speaking and living in your truth is freedom. What you get to do is move forward. What you get to do is release that. What you get to do is get closer to your joy and your peace. What you get to do is not be stuck. What you get to do in that moment, when I was giving the example about being in the race and you started off in the sprint, then it was, a fast run, then it turned into a jog, and then it turned into a fast walk, and then it turned into, you getting a little weak, so you start stumbling. When you start releasing and living in your truth and saying what is, You're feeling yourself. So you was almost about to fall. You're feeling yourself. So now I'm back walking. You tell another truth. You free yourself. You forgave them. You asked for forgiveness. Now you back into your little jog. It's a process. But when you accept, acknowledge, you can change the outcome. You can change yourself from being stuck in the place that you're in and move forward. And I'm telling you, the same stuff that has been keeping us stuck, frustrated, hurt, feeling alone, feeling shamed, feeling like nobody understands, feeling like nobody knows the trouble I've seen. All of that stuff, that's going to be the same stuff that make you blow up. That's going to be the same stuff that give you your joy. That's going to be the same stuff that allows you to be able to help the next woman or the young lady not have to spend 6 years dealing with something, but they can go ahead and get it resolved in 6 months, right? So that's all I'm saying. We declaring some things this month over the next couple weeks. So tonight, we declaring I will walk in integrity, truth, and in freedom. And again, the link for the Ladies Let's Talk is going to be in this. Register, invite a friend. Space is limited. But again, I extended the early bird to the end of the month. So it's only $15. After that, it's going to be $20. You don't want to miss this. Come out, support. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. So I thank y'all for joining in. Like, share, continue to comment this video. Let me know your thoughts. You can always inbox me if you have, any whatever questions, concerns. You have some resources or something you want to give or references, you can do that. This is Shy, owner of Healing for Her LLC. Thank y'all for joining me. Have a great night.